We have whales in front of us. What the actual heck?
Ferries too.
Do we wave?
Yeah. As we duck under the harbour bridge and sail to a secluded spot north of Sydney. I'm Kristina.
We're off.
And this is John. Together we just packed up our lives,
Kristina Costalos joins me now.
put our careers on hold to sail around Australia.
Oh, this is magic. Sail your boat under the bridge.
In our new home, Takana, a 50-foot Genoa Sun Odyssey. Join us as we take her to the Great Barrier Reef. If you're new here, welcome and thanks for joining our crew during our 62nd hour straight at sea.
Takana to Skyfall.
We're currently trying to get Takana, our yacht, from Melbourne up to Sydney, direct, while dodging COVID outbreaks, wintry weather and whales. This was my first encounter. It's raw. I mean, I still have food on my face as I'm trying to work out what to do. On watch by myself as my boyfriend John tries to get some sleep below deck.
Takana to Skyfall.
I'm unprepared for this encounter with just 3 weeks of sailing experience under my belt.
There are whales in front of us and I'm not sure what to do. Like, do we need to... If they are literally right in front of us, oh my god. We have whales in front of us. They're literally right in front of us.
Reluctantly, I have to wake up John, knowing a solid sleep is worth more than gold right now.
Sorry I had to wake you, but this tail literally came out and I was going to move, but I'm a bit nervous.
Steer around. Just hit auto and turn and steer around.
Okay.
And as I walk up to the helm,
10? Oh my god. I have. I just went 10 degrees right. What the actual heck? I'm so glad I woke you up.
so after watching that, 60,000 whales are currently migrating, and that's obviously why we're in that situation. They're heading up north because they're going to warmer waters to give birth and to mate. I obviously didn't have much experience at that stage, but besides that, there are a few points that we wanted to make.
The idea is to stay away from the whales as much as possible. What we were wondering about is what is the best course of action. Some people have said to us, who are quite experienced with sailing and whatnot, that if you're motoring, they can hear you and you're best to stay on course so that the whales know where you're going and they'll move out the way. Other people have told us that as soon as you see a whale, you should do your best to alter course to get out of the way. So yeah, curious about that one. Yeah, obviously the states have some good rules and regulations around how close you should get to whales or how close you shouldn't get to whales. We're not really talking about those. It's that unexpected scenario where they pop up. We'd be really interested to hear if there are any sailors out there, what your thoughts are on it, or even if there are some marine biologists perhaps who have educated opinion on this. It'd be interesting to know because there are an awful lot of whales up the coast.
Every time we were out, there were at least a dozen whales, I feel like, that we saw.
Yeah, it happens very frequently, like every few hours at least.
Yeah, definitely. They are most active between April and November.
But they go north and then they go south again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're most
around November.
And we were right in the thick of it. Like, it was crazy. And as you'll see, that wasn't the first time that we had an interaction with whales.
Whoa, that was close.
It's a huge mission for these humpbacks, a 5,000 kilometre journey that takes 3 months. Their numbers are increasing by around 10% each year, which is amazing considering there were just around 200 of them left in the 1960s when commercial whaling ceased. There seems to be a common theme here that every day we're all growing and we're all learning and respecting the ocean more.
So just sit with me, talking to the night until the morning, building chemistry. I don't think I ever wanna go come closer.
We have just one more sleep to go. after our last supper at sea. We have a very balanced diet on board. All the food groups are taken care of.
What do you reckon?
Pretty good.
A new day, a new adventure. As together we creep up on arguably one of the most beautiful cities in the world. As we approached Sydney Harbour, caffeine was a prerequisite as Johnny Cash blasted through our speakers. I guess I just said to myself, holy moly, we bloody did it. We're here, finally. After 4 days straight at sea, our longest stint yet.
Feeling in my bones, I can feel it in my veins. Hands in the sky, I can feel the winds of change.
I mean, our eyeballs were popping out of our heads, mostly though because of this view. We ended up finding a mooring at Rushcutters Bay.
90. Can't even think. Take two. I think we're crazy. We haven't stopped. Instead of sleeping, we're putting a solar panel on the deck. Obviously, I was in no headspace to explain why solar panels were so important. So here's Kristina from the future to explain why the solar panels were so important at the time. So up until now, we've obviously been in a yacht club, so we've always just been plugged into main shore power. But now that we're out and about and we're wanting to go exploring, well, we can't just simply plug into any power outlet. We need to make our own power, and so that's why we decided to go with solar. So the reason why we had to put solar panels right there and then is because we were on a mooring, which meant we weren't in a marina anymore. We had already spent 8 weeks at a marina. In Australia, they can cost anywhere between $60 to $150 a night. So we had to find a way to be able to charge up these bad boys, which live under the aft cabin here. Ooh. So just like your mobile phone, you plug it into a power outlet when you want to charge it. You can drain your battery down to 0. With our lead acid batteries, you really don't want to drain them below 60%. I'll ask John why. Hey John.
Are you filming?
Yeah, I'm filming.
You have to say action.
Action.
Righto, straight out of the manual. Depth of discharge versus battery life. Battery cycle off.
Oh my god, this is so boring.
As shown in this chart here.
Okay, is that it?
Essentially, the deeper you discharge your batteries, the less life cycles you get out of the battery. That's for AGM.
So you might be asking, well, why do you even need batteries on board? Keep our fridge cold. We also need them for things like our bilge pump, which is under the floor. For example, if Takana started taking in water, the bilge pumps rely on battery power. All our navigation runs off of electricity, and obviously we need that to sail. So that is why we needed... We have to turn it off because people know where we are.
You may find it interesting that one of the biggest consumers of power on the boat while we're sailing is actually the autopilot.
We need to make our own power, and so that's why we've decided to go with solar. And that's why we are installing solar right now, because we are on a mooring in the middle of Sydney Harbour.
We want it lined up here on the edge of these.
If you want to know more about our solar panels, let us know in the comments below and I'll get John to give you the rundown. In the meantime, we're rolling around the double-sided foam to secure our new setup.
Is it useless?
No. So the one on the back, one of them's doing 3.5 amps. The other's...
Look at the state of this boat. We've literally just arrived. Jerry cans, crap everywhere. Washing. Everything was a bit damp inside, so we thought we would bring it all out, dry everything out.
So you guys also sent us a heap of questions on Instagram, and these were my favourite.
Ask you 5 quick questions. Did you puke?
No.
What was the most memorable moment?
Arriving in Sydney.
Oh, what was the hardest part?
Arriving in Sydney.
No, honestly, what was the hardest part?
Sleep deprivation.
What was the scariest part?
Going through the islands at the bottom of Wilson's Prom at night.
Admittedly, I threw this one in.
And who was the better cook?
You were.
Who?
How's that even a question?
After the installation, we did some errands on land.
So we haven't slept yet after our sail, but we have gone to the laundromat and the grocery store. Laundromat. And now we're about to go on a dinghy. I thought you were going to fall in them.
It's not going to get wet, is it?
I don't know. I hope not. We've just spent $10 on the dryer.
Just be careful because it rocks.
Yeah, okay.
Careful. How good's the new tender?
Our boat is the very last one. I don't know. How far away do you think it is, John?
200 metres. Imagine doing this maggot. There's like more than a ripple. We're going down.
It was hard to believe we had just arrived. And yet tomorrow, we were off again.
At least the tender's still there. Morning, sunshine.
Up until now, Australia had been able to essentially eradicate coronavirus from the community. Overseas travellers returning back to Australia spend time in hotel quarantine, but somehow the virus escaped and it was now bubbling away in the community, threatening the city into lockdown. But no one really knew what was happening, and after 4 days at sea, John and I briefly wanted to stretch our legs. And so we did a bit of sightseeing. Our favourite spot, the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia, which is actually where the Sydney to Hobart kicks off.
Everyone from around the world looks at the Rolex Sydney Hobart races, one of the races of the world.
It's where we've organised to meet BA and Tracy, who were on the other boat, Skyfall.
Well, that was fun. Thanks for coming on.
This time, one of us may have been a little maggot.
Row, you gently down the stream.
But a view like this was about to brush off any hangover. We're about to blast under the iconic Sydney Harbour Bridge. But first, let's introduce you to our newest crew member, Chris.
One of John's friends. One of our friends, should I say? I was like, one of John's friends, Chris, has joined us. We've been like 15 years.
We all went to school together.
And we are heading to the Hawkesbury today.
For a second, he had me.
Oh, John, there's another ferry. Do we wave?
Yeah.
They're like, okay, you guys are crazy.
Bucket list thing. Oh, this is magic. Sail your boat under the bridge. Colin, you're supposed to. No.
The bridge is arguably one of Australia's 7 wonders. It dates back to the 30s and was nicknamed the coat hanger for obvious reasons.
This colossal structure will stand as a monument to British engineering skill and courage. Designed to span the greatest arch in the world,
Luna Park is at its doorstep and the Opera House is a stone's throw away. It was designed by a Danish architect in the 50s.
Cheers.
As As we leave Sydney Harbour, we're about to put up Takana's sails. This next spot we're about to show you is a sailing mecca.
This is the first time that John and I are going to put the mainsail up together, and I'm a little bit nervous, but we have to do it at some point.
First, we have to put away the head sail before turning into wind, and then we'll get the mainsail ready and unzip the covers.
I'm actually so bloody nervous. Look at him, he's up on the bloody thing.
John has to do the honours because I literally can't reach the mainsail halyard.
So we are now putting Takana into wind.
Overcoming fear, I think, is a pretty powerful thing. As you know, knowledge grows, so does your confidence.
Show me how to dare to love.
Right on cover. We're sailing.
We will get better.
And just as we were celebrating friendship and this incredible milestone, you guessed it, another bloody whale. The 30 nautical mile trip from Sydney to Pinta Bay took us about 5 hours. And this little nook tucked up in the Hawkesbury River is so secluded, but it hosts 2 free moorings, and one was just waiting for us at dusk.
Where is there's Kristina with a little light.
Oh, stunning. The light at the moment, the lighting's absolutely phenomenal. Everyone's taking photos. Like, the lighting's absolutely stunning, and it's just like such a good atmosphere. So.
I heard you want to leave this place where we grew up. This old town, just put it all behind. Remember you and I would always find somewhere to hide when we were kids.
Coming up next, we finally launch our brand new dinghy. But the outboard gives us grief.
Oh no!
Before a visit from Marine Rescue New South Wales.
I can't believe that we just had them come on board and visit us.